I'm so sorry. The last video I did was a piece of crap. I don't know. My wife's computer is a laptop and it weighs 700 pounds. That may be why it doesn't work well. Anyway, we're back from our vacation and I'm going to redo this video and then I'll erase that other piece of crap. I don't know where the sound went. I was just sitting in a motel room, I'm talking along, and I realized something, you know. If there's sound, you don't have to look at me. And a lot of people don't. They just turn the sound on and look like this. But if there's no sound, they've got to do this. And then no one's going to do that. So anyway, let me tell you about the vacation from hell. It wasn't all bad. It was just pieces of it that were bad. We left Salt Lake City and we drove to Las Vegas. And we decided to stay in the Stratosphere Hotel, which is that great big tall one with the big bubble on top that is 1,000 feet tall. And my wife wanted to see the city lights down the strip and take pictures. So before nightfall, we went up on top, and the baby, we didn't take our teenager. We just paid her $100 to stay home, and that was the best $100 I have ever spent. She went over to my wife's friend's house and stayed there. I think she still has her $100. But anyway, we went up in the Stratosphere, and they have rides up there. Now, these days, with bypass surgery, I went on the Mummy ride once at Universal Studios, and I had to be resurrected with one of those machines. That son of a bitch must have gone 100 miles an hour in the dark, up and down, and I came to the end, and I said, thank God. Thank God, at least I didn't die. And the son of a bitch began to back up 100 miles an hour, and we went all the way back to the back. And when I got in there, you know, the boy tried to unstrap me, and he says, are you all right? And I said, no, I'm not. I had to go and get 2 or 3 Cokes, water on my head. I think I was going to go, but, you know, the videos are more important, so your Jesus kept me here, or your Buddha, or your Muhammad, whoever. So anyway, we go in the Stratosphere, and there's these rides. Now, one of the rides is the bungee jump. You can jump off the top of the Stratosphere. I think it's like $35. And fall 1,000 feet. And the last 12 feet, the bungee stops you from smashing on the sidewalk. Well, we got a hotel room, and we were sitting there looking out the hotel room, and we didn't know we were on the bungee side of the building. So I'm looking out the window, and here comes a guy jumping off the Stratosphere. I thought it was a suicide, because once they get to the bottom, you can't see them. So I thought, you know, they were picking them up down there. And after 3 or 4, I thought, gee, this is an unusual suicide day. And then I looked on the window, and our window in our hotel room said, be aware there are skydivers that may pass your window. Feel free to wave. So my 9-year-old, this guy's going 130 miles an hour, and my 9-year-old is waving, and I'm going, oh, God. So we get into the Stratosphere, and the lady says, well, you can have the 16th floor. Not the whole floor, one room. I said, okay. So we go up to the Stratosphere, and we stay up there, and halfway up to our room, this lady jumps out of the gambling area, and she says, are you over 55? And I said, do you need new glasses? She goes, come with me. This is my lucky day. So my wife and I go walking over, and she said, you are lucky. And I said, no. I've got a feeling that my life is going to be the same right here at this table as it's been for damn 64 years. She says, here's the deal. We're going to give you a free vacation. I said, where? To hell? She goes, no, anywhere you want to go in the world. 2 nights and 3 days. I said, well, what's the catch? And she says, the catch is tomorrow you have to go to a timeshare sales meeting. And you can just tell them no, and then we'll give you the vacation for free anyway. And we'll give you 6 buffets. And I thought, well, the buffets are good. So I said, okay, we'll go. So the next morning we get up, 8 o'clock, they drive us over to this timeshare place. And we get in, and oh my God, it's like a family reunion when the salespeople jump on you and put you in this little room. And they start saying, we need $90,000. I said, Jesus, I I don't have $90,000. If I robbed a bank, I don't think I'd get $90,000. He says, well, would you like something a little cheaper? I go, yes, a lot cheaper. So they went down to 40. Then they went down to 15. Well, at that point, our black salesman, my daughter spilled 2 Cokes on the table, a carpet underneath. And I've got this 200-pound black man, and he's at my feet, and he's rubbing the drink up off of the carpet. I'm sure it looked to other people that he was giving me a shoe shine, hoping that I would buy the 15,000. Well, I didn't buy the 15 either. So we're walking out of there, and they gave us our $40 deposit back, is one thing they said they do. And as we started to go out the door, one more salesman jumps from the chandelier, and he goes, shit, you haven't seen anything yet. I said, yes, I have. I've seen from 90,000 down to 15. He says, come with me. I've got a $2,000 deal. I go, well, all right, I'll take a look at that. So we looked at that deal, and my wife looks at me because she has credit. And she's, I don't want this on my credit. Now, you had to pay him $350 down and then $135 a month for 16 months. And then you have, 5 or 7 vacation weeks that you can go anywhere you want. So I looked at it and said, I think this is a good deal. And I told the salesman, I said, my wife doesn't want this in her credit. Now, I don't know if you know what a FICO score is. Most of you do. You can have a negative FICO score. And you can be in the Guinness Book of Records for a negative FICO score. Look at negative FICO score in the dictionary, and you'll see this face. So he says, well, we could put it in your name. I said, well, I don't want you to pull my FICO score because handcuffs will jump out of the computer. He goes, we won't even check it. We can just sell it to you. I said, I'll take it. I thought, these stupid bastards, they have no idea. I may pay for it. I may not pay for it. We shall see. So I told him, I said, what if I die? He says, well, if you do, it won't be on your wife's responsibility because you signed the contract. I said, okay. So anyway, we bought a timeshare. So I don't know if it's a good deal or a bad deal, but we'll report later. Okay. So this black guy is down there scrubbing my shoes, picking up the soda that my daughter dropped, and I'm sure the whole audience there was looking. Well, we did go to a nightclub show there at the Stardust the first night. And my wife has never seen a Las Vegas show, and it was very nice, no boobs. I was bored, but she liked it. They were all dressed. Well, we go to bed that night, and we're on the 16th floor. About 3:30 in the morning, this speaker, like they put it on your head, like headphones, there has been an emergency. Clear the building now. And it just kept saying that over and over. Well, I didn't know if I would rather blow up in a terrorist attack. I know I didn't want to burn, so I could lay in the bathtub and cover myself with water. And my wife grabs her computer. The damn baby. No one grabs the 9-year-old, so I grab the baby. We get dressed, throw our clothes on. There's people in the hall, one foot in their pajamas. The cheerleading group that ran down with no panties on made me stay alive. Not just shitting you, no. But there were old people like me, and I'm starting to look. I'm going to walk down 16 flights of stairs. And I kept thinking each flight, I'd rather die. I was going to sit down on a stair, but I thought the people would just step over me, which they would. So I kept going down and down and down. Finally, I got to the bottom, and of course everyone's bad breath in that particular stairwell. You could have lit a match and it would have burned the place up anyway. So I go down into the casino with these, 400 or 500 people, and I look around and people are still playing the machines. And the card dealers are still there working. And I said to them when I went over to get some information, because you know me, I just can't follow a crowd. And I said to the cashier, I said, where are all these people going? And she says, I don't know. I was going to ask you. I said, there's been a hotel emergency. Why aren't they protecting you? You people are just sitting here. And she says, well, we never heard any kind of an emergency. Well, now I'm saying, is there a bomb in the building? How come everybody's not going out? Well, we all got shuttled around to the next elevator group, and we all started going up the damn elevators. Well, I'm wide awake at 4:30 in the morning, and I just told my wife and child, I said, we're getting the hell out of here. I'm not going to stay in Vegas anymore. So anyway, we went up to Calabasas, California, and there we had no problems. I mean, the people were nice, everything worked. Okay, so then we went down to SeaWorld. And SeaWorld was kind of fun. And the baby and the wife got to see, you know, the killer whales. And when I told them that one of the whales had killed one of the trainers there about 6 months ago, they were scared. There were 600 chairs up in the stand, and my wife kept thinking the whale, the killer whale, was going to jump over the tank and wiggle himself up to her seat. So anyway, we had a good time there, and then we decided to go to San Francisco. Oh, well, no, we went to Hearst Castle, and my wife is trying to program the GPS. Now, you all know she's from the Philippines, and they say they speak English in the Philippines. They don't. I've lived with her 5 years. They say, you know, their educational system is up to par with us. No, it's not. So she's trying to program in Hearst Castle, and she kept saying to me, she said, David, what's the number? I said, on the mailbox? And she goes, yeah, on the mailbox. What is the Hearst Castle street number? I said, honey, it's Hearst Castle, San Simeon, California. Everybody and the mailman knows where Hearst Castle is. So we went up there, and we stayed at the Frog Catcher Inn. Now, I don't know why they called it the Frog Catcher Inn, but the damn thing was $200 a night, and I just sat on the couch because I wanted my money's worth. I wasn't going to walk out to the beach. I wasn't going to go up to the... I'm sitting there getting my money's worth. I got to sit 4 days to get $200 worth. So anyway, the kid and the wife went to the beach. Then we went up to the jacuzzi, and we had a good time there. Then we drove to San Francisco, up Highway 1 in California. Well, that's an experience that you only want once in your life. And this was the second time I drove. It's a beautiful, beautiful highway, but there's no way to get off it. You got to go all the way up to San Francisco on one. Well, we got this hotel in San Francisco, and it's $240 a night. God, I'm really I'm moving on the chair, the couch. I'm trying to really get I'm saying I'm never going to get my money's worth. They charge us $28 to park our car. And until I drove around San Francisco, I thought that was a ripoff. It's not. There's no parking in San Francisco, and they will tow your car, and you will not have a car to finish your vacation. So we stayed there. Well, now here's where I always have problems, and I guess it's because I'm bipolar. I find that 85% of human beings are absolute idiots. They can't communicate, they can't give directions, they can't remember, they can't give you the right change. It went on and on. So anyway, we were going to go ahead and eat there in the little cafe in the hotel. So we go there, and there's like 19 workers that have snakes, if you know what a plumbing snake, down the sinks and the toilets in the cafe. And I said to the guy, is this going to be open? And he goes, when hell freezes over. I go, shit, now I don't have anything to eat. The cafe is totally closed. So I go to the lady and I say, look, we have a tour down here, and we need to be picked up by my child calls it the headless bus. It's not headless. It's the top is off of it, so you can sit in the sun, get a sunburn, get windburn in San Francisco. So I said, where can we catch the headless bus there? She says, you just go down this road right here, 2 blocks, and it's on the right side. You'll see a great big wall with all kinds of growth on it, and if you get to the Chase Bank, you've gone too far. So, okay, now every time a woman has given me directions on this vacation, I've been screwed, every time. So I trusted her. I wasn't going to be just gender discriminated. I know that, you know, it's a gay community there, and I guess the lesbians can give as good a directions as anybody. So I drive down there. I see no wall. I see no place for a bus to pull in. And I see Chase Bank. Holy shit. I've gone too far, but there's nothing back there. And all the cars were turning left, and she never said turn left. So I go, well, you know, I'm screwed up here. So we had to go into Chase Bank, and my wife had to get directions. Now, she got a Filipino cashier, and my wife is Filipino. And my wife came out with directions from the Philippines. Jesus, I still could. I finally put it in the GPS, and I found if you drive slow enough in an area, the GPS can keep up with you. If you're going 70 miles an hour in San Francisco, it just lays over like this and goes, screw it, I don't know. I don't know either. So anyway, we go down and we decide to get on this boat. It's a tour boat. And so, you know, I can't stand there in the sun very long, so I put the 9-year-old there. And yes, I did pay her to hold my place. Well, she's standing there in line at the front of the line there, and pretty soon this Asian family, and now I'm married to Asians and I have Asian children, so I can say these kinds of things. This Asian family starts to take pictures right around my 9-year-old. And pretty soon, the old lady, now Asian families are matriarchal, okay, so what the mom says goes. Not with me. The new caribou, that's not the way you speak to me. So they take my child and push her out of the way and out of line so they can take pictures. Well, I jumped off the bench, not off into the Golden Gate. I jumped off the bench and I went over to the old lady and I says, excuse me. I said, she is in line. And she, oh, she's behind us. I said, no, she was in front of you and you pushed her. This is my child. You don't push my child. And the old lady started the matriarchal thing. We're only going to be here a minute. I said, I've been watching you for 5 minutes and you're Asians. You're going to be here for an hour. Well, we're just taking a picture. That doesn't, maybe in Asia, and it's true, in Asia, you can throw a child off the bench and into the ocean if you're taking a picture. That's their highest priority. I said, you know what? You're in the United States. She stands there. Don't touch her. Don't talk to her. If you want to take a picture, go over there and take a picture. Don't take a picture in line. And I said, you know what? I don't want to hear your shit. This is where my child stands. You shut up. So I went over and sat down. Well, she turned her back on the baby and wouldn't look at her no matter what. And the baby, and I put my wife in line in front of this whole bag too. I went to the back because I didn't want, you know, I didn't want a knife in the back. It was Chinatown. So I went back to the back. I still got on. Well, we rode the ferry and it went over to underneath the Golden Gate Bridge and it went over to Alcatraz and that was fun. And then we went over the Golden Gate Bridge with the bus. Now, before we went over on the bus, I'm there where we bought our tour. And the lady is saying, okay, you can go on the 3 o'clock bus. I said, great. And she says, it's right there. It'll be leaving in 10 minutes. I know, okay. So I'm getting the tickets and getting this and that. And I look, and here goes the bus. I go, Jesus, it's David's Day. So the bus takes off. Now, you know, I don't think that many weird things happen to me. Yes, I do. I'm lying. Yes, I do. So there's a bus behind the bus that took off. So I went over on the bus that's not even starting to fill up yet, and I sit down out of the shade with my family, and I'm there about 10 minutes, and pretty soon this little tour guide lady comes over, and she says, this bus is going nowhere. I said, damn, so am I. So I guess I'm loud in public. I'm loud on my videos, and I guess I'm loud in public too. And she said, well, you'll have to wait an hour. I said, I could be dead in an hour, and I want my damn money back. So she got off the bus. About 5 minutes later, this nice guy gets on, and he says, are you married to a Filipino? I said, yes. He says, so am I. I'll take you. I said, shit, there's no one on the bus. I'll take you on the bus alone. I go, jeez, I feel guilty. I don't want you to take us on the bus alone. He goes, nope, I want to go alone. So we're on it's 80, 90, maybe 100 passenger bus, and there's 3 of us sitting in the front seat, and we're talking to him one-on-one. It's just like a personal tour, and he takes us over to the Golden Gate Bridge and through Sausalito, which was beautiful, and we gave him a tip. You know, 50 cents doesn't go that far in San Francisco, but geez, I'm a senior citizen. I thought, you know, no, we gave him $10, and I expected it back. I tried to pickpocket it back, but I couldn't. So anyway, now we program into the GPS, we want to go to Reno. Okay, and the GPS goes, 3 hours, 45 minutes. I go, oh no, it's 5 hours, 8 hours, something like that. I go, okay. So I start following the damn GPS. Well, it goes up into Northern California, way above San Francisco. And I said to myself, we're going the wrong way. And the GPS goes, no, you're not. And I said, you screw us up, I'll slap the picture right off your screen. Sit back. Well, okay. Now, when you've been my GPS for 5 years, you speak to me, and I speak to you. We have a very close relationship. So he's taking me all over the place. Pretty soon he turns around. Now we're going south. We're going right back over the roads where we've been. And I'm saying you got shit for brains? And he goes, yes. And I'm going to spread them to you. Sit down and shut up. So I'm in a highly congested area. The Kennedy Bridge and the Oakland Bay Bridge, and we just went over the Golden Gate, and I could see next week's paycheck going out in tolls. So he's taking me clear down to Stockton, way away from Sacramento, and I know I-80 goes right over to Reno. So he's taking me here and there, and finally I turned him off. I said, you're fired. I'm going to take I-80 the next time I see it. So I take I-80. I start heading up to Sacramento, and, it cut 2 hours off the trip. And I said, see, you didn't know the shortcuts. And he says, well, you programmed me that I wasn't allowed to take you on any toll roads, and all the bridges are toll. So I was going to send you back to Central California and come over the back mountain to Sacramento. You're the dumb shit, not me. Slapped him again. So finally, when I got up into Sacramento, he changed his mind, and he reprograms, and he takes us into Reno. Now, the GPS is a wonderful device if you program it properly. If you don't, you're just going to drive all over the place. You're not going to be able to get there. So we drove into Reno, and that was a nice place. And then we just drove to Salt Lake, and I just got home about an hour ago. So I wanted to get on here to let you know that the Danites have not collected me. The Mormons have not discovered where I live yet. And my 9-year-old is still alive, and so is my 14-year-old. I don't think she ever wants to go on a vacation with us. And I'll go to $200 next time to leave her at home. So if you want to go on vacation out of Utah, things happen if you want to walk down 16 flights of stairs in the dark. But the cheerleaders had no panties on, and I was just following. I couldn't see anything, but I did have cat vision eyes that night. Thanks.